So they're all installed for the mile-and-a-half race, and their orders in their away. And reference point, as expected, really goes out in what could be a very valuable public gallop, but he's there, and it's reference point. Clear of Dry Dock in second place, and Coach is back in third. So it's all on Steve Cauthen, 131 winners this season, and reference point leads to Dry Dock and Willie Cast in second, and Cauthen Moosen on Coaches, he's back in third. So reference point in the lead, shows away by 2 to 3 lengths to Dry Dock in second and Coaches in third. And John Oaksey, do you expect Steve to keep up the gallop, or do you think he'll quicken up, or what will his tactics be?
I do think he'll quicken up, Graham. I would say they're not going a bad gallop in considering the ground, but I would expect Steve to quicken a little bit coming round the turn for home. That's been his tactics in the past. He's certainly quickened going into the turn at Ascot. Of course, they were very different opposition that day, but I would expect that he'd move reference point not into top gear, but into a slightly higher gear than he is at the moment, because as you can see from the way the two jockeys are sitting behind him, they're both quite happy with this pace so far. Reference point hasn't stretched them yet, but he will.
And he leads by a couple of lengths. The Dry Dock in second and Coach is back in third, and they're halfway in the Grey Voltigeur. And it's reference point who leads then from Dry Dock in second place, and then back in third is Colchis. And it's so good to see a terrific crowd here at York. Come and see a good horse in action. 14 to 1 on, mark you. Not as bad as Scarlet played the other day at Wolverhampton. That was 22 to 1 on. But how can you stop Henry Cecil on his way towards $2 million in prize money if this fellow and his other horse wins later on this afternoon? But it's Colchis who's being brought wide, and reference point is sticking on the far side. And we saw yesterday that was the slower ground. They've got 3.5 to go, and Colchis is on the extreme left, and reference point on the right track by Dry Dock. And now Steve just asking him to quicken a little bit. They've got 2.5 to go. Colchis coming right over onto the stand side. On the far side, it's reference point to the yellow spotted jacket. And as they go past our camera angle at right angles, you see that Colchis isn't that far away. But with 2 to go, it's reference point on the extreme right. Colchis on the extreme left. They've got a furlong and a half to travel. Reference on the far side. Colchis racing on his own. They come inside the final furlong, and Colchis and reference point. Reference point has it now. Reference point just falters in the loose ground there. Colchis is wandering all over the shop inside the final furlong, and reference point comes well clear up towards the line. Reference point very easy. Reference point the winner. Dry Dock second, Colchis third. So the result of this, the Great Voltigeur, it's a win for number 1, the odds-on favourite, reference point, owned by Mr. Lewis Freeman, trained at Newmarket by Henry Cecil, ridden by Steve Cauthen. Officially, it's a photo for second place, and it looks as if the only danger reference point incurred here with that slight falter on the loose ground inside the final furlong, and Willie Carson tries to bump him pulling up. Officially, a photo for second place.